The life in the hereafter. What does the Quran say? Translation of Jahan Ifada by Jaz Rasul. Ghulam Ahmad, Parwez, 1969. 8. Azab, destruction and annihilation. As discussed in the previous chapter, according to the Quran, the results of human deeds manifest themselves in this life and will of a certainty manifest in the next life. As far as worldly life is concerned, man happens to be an animal, which means he considers himself secure within a collective life called society. Though society is a collection of individuals, the sum is unlike a mathematical addition, it is more than this. Society has a defined system and individuals have to live life within this system. If a society is based or shaped on divine laws, which are established for the development of human life, then the life of the people will be according to these permanent values. This society will thus enjoy success, prosperity and a pleasant life in both this world and the life of the hereafter. It is possible that there will be individuals within this society who go against the permanent values, because such deeds will go against the laws of the society, i.e., the permanent values. Society will punish them for the deeds. As far as the next life of these individuals is concerned, it will be settled according to the balance of the deeds. The individuals of such a society will have a life of paradise in this world, and their life in the hereafter will also be in paradise. It is possible that due to some unexpected events, e.g., a natural disaster, they may have some trouble, but this loss or difficulty will not be termed as hell. The Quran has referred to such a state as, "So lose not heart, nor fall into despair, for you must gain mastery if you are mu'mineen." 3:139. Contrary to this, the other society which is not established based on the permanent values will be of two types. 1. Such a society which does not harness the resources and forces of nature will live in the hell of humiliation and disgrace. And the individuals of that society will live in hell in the next life also. 2. Such a society which harnesses these natural resources and forces of nature will have benefit and prosperity for a certain period of time. But as the people do not organize the society according to the permanent values, they also will ultimately suffer destruction and annihilation in this life. The forms of this destruction can have different aspects, but as a collective definition can be termed as hell. As far as the next life of the individuals is concerned, that will undoubtedly be hell. In each of these two types of societies, there will be individuals who are against those societal values which are against the Quran and would wish and make efforts to establish a system within the domain of the permanent values. Obviously, if destruction comes to this society, these individuals will also suffer the consequences of this destruction regardless. Regarding them, the Quran has stated, "And fear, tumult or oppression, which affects not in particular only those of you who do wrong, and know that Allah is strict in punishment." 8:25. See also 76:7. Therefore, these kinds of people have to share in the destruction which comes to the society as a whole, but their future life will be of paradise, due to their righteous deeds tilting their overall balance of deeds. The Quran has used the term azab for this destruction, whether it is in this life or in the hereafter. Azab-e-alim, extremely painful destruction; azab-e-mahin, humiliating destruction; and azab al-hariq, destruction which burns everything connected to human life. The terms azab an-nar or azab al-sayr also have the same meaning as azab al-hariq. Other terms are azab-e-azim, great destruction; azab-e-shadid, intense destruction. In some places the Quran has clearly stated that these destructions are in this life, and in other places that these destructions are for the hereafter. In other places are mentioned destructions both in this life and in the hereafter. In some places there is no distinction and it is simply called destruction. We will first examine those verses in which destruction is mentioned without any distinction. 8.1 Azab, punishment without any distinction. 1. Just Azab. In some verses it is mentioned as simply Azab. In Surah In'am. But those who reject our signs, them shall punishment touch, for that they ceased not from transgressing. 6:49. See also 5:87, 156:19, 79:30, 16:34, 8:2. At another place it has been called Su al-Azab. 6:158. i.e., the worst form of a punishment. In Surah Maida it is stated that the followers of the Messenger Isa, Jesus, were warned that if they decided to go against the divine system of sustenance, then they would receive such punishment as no other nation had previously suffered. 5:118. In Surah Maryam this punishment is described as being from Ar-Rahman, from Allah. 19:45. Rahman being an attribute of Allah. At other places this is called Azab from Rab, Sustainer, an attribute of Allah. 70:27-28. In Surah Al-Furqan it is called Azab Kaba, great destruction. 25:19. And in Surah Ghafir it is called Azab Akbar, greatest destruction. 88:24. In order to express the intensity of a destruction it has also been called Azab en Fawqa al-Azab. 16:88. i.e., destruction upon destruction. 3. Azaban Shadidan, very severe destruction which expresses the intensity and severity of the punishment. 3:14. 2:2, 165:41, 27:58, 15. To express the same intensity, in some places it is called Azaban Galis. 31:24-41, 50. 4. Azaban Azim, great punishment. In Surah Al-Baqarah it is stated that those people who adopt such a mentality whereby they refuse to see, hear or understand, and without any reason wish to defy truth and reality, for them is a great punishment. 2:7. In Surah Al-Imran, the people who even after receiving the clear message of the revelation persist in creating sects and causing division among themselves, will receive great punishment. 3:105-3. 176. The people who after having accepted Iman then turn against it, for them too is a great punishment. 16:106. 5. Azaban Mahinan, humiliating and degrading punishment. In Surah Al-Baqarah this type of punishment is specified for those who do not accept Allah's guidance. 2:90. For those who refuse to accept the divine laws and oppose them, the consequence of their way of life is this type of punishment. 3:178-4. 102-4. 151-22. 57. Those people who ridicule the signs of Allah and do not take them seriously, for them is the same punishment. 31:6-45. 9. In Surah Mujadila a warning is given against those people who start a war against the Islamic system or government, that for them is a humiliating destruction. 58:5, 6. Azab al-Hariq and Azab al-Sayr, destruction of human life affecting the inner self. In Surah Al-Imran this is called punishment related to the human self. 3:181. At other places this is also called Azab al-Sayr. 22:467. 5. The term Azab an-Nar has been mentioned so many times that this will require far more detailed explanation, e.g. 2. 126. This term has a similar meaning to azab al-Harik and azab al-Sa'ir. 7. Azab al-Alim, extremely painful punishment. This term also appears many times in the Quran. In the beginning of Surah Al-Baqarah the hypocrites are mentioned, and this punishment is predicted for them due to their behavior. In their hearts is a disease, and Allah has increased the disease, and grievous is the penalty they incur, because they are fools to themselves. 2:10. The trait of a hypocrite is that while a man remains in this state, then the intensity of this malady keeps increasing, and the life of such a person is lived in great agony and fear. In Surah Saba it is noted that people who run about trying to oppose the divine laws in order to defeat them, their end is this type of punishment which will dissipate their power, and there is a similar punishment for those who rebel against these laws. But those who strive against our signs, to frustrate them, for such will be a penalty, a punishment most painful. 34:5. See also 45:11. In the Quran, while discussing these different types of punishments, it is also stated, remember that it is a truth that this destruction from your sustainer will definitely take place, it is not an empty threat. Verily, the doom of your Rabb will indeed come to pass. 52:7. In Surah Al-Muraj, a questioner asked about a penalty to befall. 71. The Kafirin, unbelievers, the which there is none to ward off. 72. In Surah Shura, for any whom Allah leaves astray, there is no protector thereafter. And you will see the wrongdoers, when in sight of the penalty, say, is there any way to effect a return? 42:44. Since the punishment only comes when the time for respite has passed, therefore there is no question of going back or escaping from it. These are the punishments mentioned in the Quran which do not differentiate between this life or the hereafter. In the next chapter, the consequences of the deeds which relate to this life are explained.